Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of All Gen Gamers. This is episode 98, and I am Pete Dorr. And as usual, I am joined by my fellow co-host, Gamester81. What's up, John?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm good.
And I'm also joined by Jason Heine, the EMU Review. What's up, Jason?
Hey guys, I'm great.
I'm also joined by Jason number 2, the Metal Jesus Rocks. What's up, Jason?
Hey, I'm doing really great. How are you, Pete?
Oh my god.
I'm excited because we're joined by a special guest, Nostalgic Dan 1. What's up, Dan?
It's a pretty sexy voice there, Pete. I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on, too.
Yeah, it's great to have you on, man.
Yeah.
Special little intro there.
The special
love
nostalgic Dan intro.
Yeah.
Nostalgic Dan intro. What's up, buddy?
Pretty good. I got to give props to Tim Jumbo Junkie because he's like the first one to do like that impression when I was on OKS. So I thought it was hilarious when I heard the episode and like you guys had like Clive and Derek on, and I heard Pete doing that like impression. Like, oh, I've been practicing my impression.
Dan, why don't you plug away real quick? Why don't you tell us about your podcast, your channel, where people can get a hold of you, where they can find your shit?
Yeah, so like John said, I'm a part of a podcast, and that is the Press Start Podcast. It's a podcast I do pretty much weekly basis, just like this, with my buddy Clive, Quickfreeze4, and Derek, Techno Squeak. You can find that in a variety of places, but mainly you can check out youtube.com. It's Press Start Pod. And from there, like our videos, we have links to like everywhere where you can iTunes, download them directly, and all kinds of stuff. And I do have a YouTube channel. It's Nostalgic Dan 1, and I cover a variety of stuff. I pretty much do pickups, unboxings, game recommendations. I'm a big JRPG and RPG fan, and I'm also a big fan of just odd games, obscure games, and I'm a big fan of indie games too. So you can find that as Nostalgic Dan 1, and I have a Twitter and Facebook, which is Nostalgic Dan, if you want to check that out.
So Dan, what's with the 1? Is it just that the Nostalgic Dan was already taken?
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
And I was so pissed because of some guy who like hasn't used it in forever.
Is
I'm
that
like,
always the case? Oh, Dinky Dana had a problem with that too, like taking his screen name and not using it.
Well, aren't they deleting accounts now that people don't use for a while?
They were. Yeah, I mean, like this past month, thousands of subscribers were lost. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Find out they're just clearing out the old accounts, so no big deal. Cool, man. Well, it's great to have you on.
Yeah, great to be here. That's three amigos in the Phoenix area.
It's true.
We're taking over.
Just taking over, shutting them down.
Dan, where do you go locally here in Phoenix to shop, get your games?
I love Bookman's, obviously, but for a flea market, I go to Park and Swap. I don't know if you guys know where that's at. But
Is that in Mesa?
Yeah, we got kicked out of it.
yeah, it's by the Greyhound track over there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We got booted.
Booted.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's how we roll. We
Do you
roll
bring your
up in-
camera in there, or do they care?
No, I never seen them really care too much. I didn't think that's why I was kind of surprised that you guys got kicked
Dude.
out.
Yeah, we roll up in there.
Because we're white.
Yep, it's gotta be the color of our skin. They kicked us out. They escorted us out. You heard about that, right? Though, Dan,
Yeah.
you watched the video of that.
See, you guys need to get the spy glasses
Yeah.
with the video. The quality's shitty,
I do
but
have a spyglass.
John's got some.
I got some. But they look like old school, like 1950s, like glasses. And I don't know, they
do you think
like,
if you went back there, they'd notice you and kick you out
No.
again?
No,
I
must
got
have-
enough film to make a video out of
must
it.
have been that 1987, Sony, camera we had attached to our shoulders.
TV camera.
With the VCR.
Yeah, VCR.
Right on. So, Pete,
Welcome back.
welcome back, my friend.
Yes, thank you.
Tell us about
It's
Disney.
been-
What happened?
It's been like 3 weeks now.
How's Minnie Mouse? Is
Yeah, was she looking good?
she's looking good?
Disney was pretty awesome. I went to all the parks, also Universal Studios, and I had a lot of fun. One of the most exciting things was going to Hollywood Studios during Star Wars weekend.
Oh, you were there during Star Wars weekend.
Yeah, because I went up
so
with a couple of
jealous.
friends, and we had to change a couple of our plans because originally we didn't know about Star Wars weekend, and we had to switch some things up to make it there. Because if I remember right, it happens once a month per year, and then only on the weekends for that month. I'm pretty sure. So like 3 times a month, but 3 times in 1 month, once a year. So yeah, I made it there for Star Wars weekend. Since this was my first time there, I wasn't quite sure what they normally have set up at Hollywood Studios in terms of Star Wars and what was there just for the Star Wars weekends. But I'm going to assume that all the character appearances, walking around outside and stuff were probably just for Star Wars weekend. I didn't go to any of the signings or anything because you had to get like advanced tickets for that, and they all sold out, and nobody there was really interesting anyway.
Who's there, Pete?
The kid that played, forget his name, that played Anakin Skywalker in Episode 1.
Jake Lloyd?
Yeah, he was there.
Wow.
The guy that played I don't know the name of him, but it's the alien counselor from like the very beginning of Episode 1 as well.
Roland?
I don't know. He's like one of the first people you see in the film. He's like one of the alien counselors.
Oh, alien guys. Okay.
Yeah, essentially no one knows who he is. So
okay.
That guy was there. One of the voice actors for, I don't watch the Clone Wars, but it's one of the really main characters, the Jedi, the girl who's like you know who I'm talking about, like the orange girl, dreadlock kind of, yeah. She was there, and that's all I can remember. I didn't go to the. I think that's it. I didn't go to the parade. We missed that, but I did go to the dance off thing that they had, which was pretty funny. I enjoyed watching that.
How was the ride?
I was gonna say. Of course, I went on store tours 3 times. Because if you're going to Disney World, you have to stay at a resort so that you can get fast passes, which essentially let you cut the line. If you come back at a certain time, they print you out a ticket. They're like, okay, come back between such and such a time. Because the first time we went on Star Tours, it was like, okay, 30-minute wait. And we were like, all right, whatever, we'll wait. That's not that long. We'll use a fast pass on something else. The second that we crossed onto the line, we didn't know, but it changed to an hour wait. So, yeah, my first time going on Star Tours, it was like an hour and a half wait to get on it, which, that was a lot. Because Star Tours, when the line's long, you wait outside in the sun with no shade. And that was pretty brutal. But it was a really great ride. I'm more of a fan of like thrill rides, like roller coasters and stuff. But Star Tours was pretty tame. So anybody that's afraid of like crazy rides, you can definitely go on this because it's a simulator. So you sit in like this enclosed space, and you have the screen, and it's in 3D, and then it just moves left and right, like forward, back, to kind of just simulate the way that you're moving around. And the really cool thing is there's supposedly, John, like 60 different outcomes every time you ride it?
Yeah, there's quite a few. I'm not quite sure the exact number, but you don't necessarily need to stay at a resort to get the fast pass either.
You don't? You can go...
No, there's just kiosks in front of the rides, and you just basically have to use your ticket to the park. You scan it, and it'll print off a fast pass for a later time of the day. And as long as you go back to that ride, either that time, the hour, or later, you're good.
Okay.
But you can't get another fast pass during that time leading up to that opening, if that makes sense.
Okay. But if you're going to Disney, just make sure you get fast passes there.
Yeah, that's huge.
Essential. Yeah. So my first time I rode it, we went to, what is the planet? The Wookiee planet.
Kashyyyk.
Yeah, we went there, and that one was okay. And then we fought, who did we fight the first time? Fought Boba Fett, and
you were in the asteroid, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the asteroid field. That was really cool. And then the second time I rode it, it actually broke down midway through. So the second time I rode it, we had this guy next to us screaming. Because every time you ride it, like I said, it's random what you get. You go to different planets, there's different scenarios, you get different holograms that talk to you. So the second time we rode it, we had this guy sitting right next to us, screaming at the top of his lungs, Vader! Vader! Because in the start of the ride, there's a chance that Darth Vader can come out and attack you. Mm-hmm. And he got Vader screaming, and the chances, 1 in 6 or something. And then he starts screaming for pod racing on Tatooine. And he got pod racing, which was a really cool sequence. And then he hoped for Princess Leia, but we got Akbar instead. So he was... Oh, and then we got into a fight in the Imperial starship fleet or something. I don't know. It was crazy. But it broke down midway through after pod racing, so we had to... they restarted the ride, and then we got Hoth, which was probably the most bumpy of them all. And,
I like Hoth the best.
Yeah, he was screaming for that too, and he got that too. How many times did you ride, Joe?
Dude, I should have been
shut this guy up.
Slave Leia, naked.
You think I'm kidding, but this guy was screaming at the top of his lungs.
It's hilarious.
Hoth! It's and he got Hoth, and he'd go crazy. Just a hardcore fan.
Pete, I have a question for you. Were you the spy?
No, I was hoping to be that's such a funny thing. When you go on the ride, I guess they take a picture of everybody sitting in the seats before the ride starts, before you put your glasses on. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden when you get like, your ship gets taken control of by Darth Vader, or not even if it gets taken control, but they're like, we're looking for this spy on your ship. And then they show a picture of somebody sitting in the seats. And there's like, I don't know, 35, 40 people that could be chosen from, something like that, 20, something like that. And yeah, out of the 4 times I rode it, I was never the spy. Because if I was going to buy the t-shirt that says, I am the rebel spy. But you can't buy the shirt without being the spy.
Did you see the Starspeeder 1000 vehicle playset that they had in the store?
The first time I went there, it was super crowded in the store, and I couldn't look at all. The second time I went back, my friends and I were in a rush because we had to go see the Phantasmic show at night. But I did convince them to wait for me to make a droid because they had the Build a Droid workshop thing there.
Yeah, that's cool.
The first time I wanted to do it, but there was a line to do it. And then I was really disappointed because when I finally got the build one, I started putting them together and I'm like, oh, this is coming along really cool. He was like orange and blue. And then all of a sudden I get to like the wheel, the middle foot for the droid. It's like an R2-D2 droid. And all they have left is like dark forest green. And that totally threw off my color scheme. And I'm like, fuck.
Now, to elaborate what Pete's talking about is they have these pieces here, like the droid, like the Ashmanic droid, like R2-D2. And you have a dome, you've got the legs, you've got the body in different colors. So you can basically build your own droid. And I think they even have like Mickey Mouse hats you can put them on them. Indiana Jones hat. It's kind of funny.
And then when you're done with them, they put them in a package for you, like a regular Star Wars figure package.
Oh, do they? That's cool.
Yeah. And unfortunately, because you're able to name it too, they give you little stickers to name your droid. Cool. I was going to name mine P3D3, but unfortunately they're out of the goddamn stickers. And I had to change my whole droid up to match the green foot. So it didn't come out quite the way I wanted it, but I figured I'd buy it as a nice little souvenir.
That's cool.
Make sure to follow us, the All Gen Gamers podcast, on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube and in iTunes. And don't forget about those iTunes ratings, guys. We appreciate those. And for all other info, links, and our forum, please visit www.allgengamers.com.